Okay, so we're going to do another work look today, and I'm going to do it with greens this time though. You shouldn't be afraid to wear color for business. It's just you want to try to do it in a sort of subtle way. So that's what I'm trying to do here, is just give you some ways to use some colors. So what I did is my usual start off, which was the Primetime, the Well Rested Clear Radiance mix. And then I put a little bit of Firelight, just a very sheer layer, just under the brow as a highlight. And so what I'm going to do now is take Gold Leaf, and I'm using the Flathead Shadow Brush from Bare Essentials for this. And I like this brush because it gives you a nice heavy layer of eyeshadow. So you could use the concealer brush that I usually use to do this as well, if you don't have this brush. Or you could just use a regular eyeshadow brush. You just might have to put on a lot of layers. So now I like this color, Gold Leaf, because it's got a sheen to it even though it's an eyeshadow texture, just like the color blush that I used yesterday. So they just have a little something extra. Okay, so that's just a pretty heavy layer of Gold Leaf, and of course I got it in my eyelashes, but that's alright. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so the next color I'm going to use is Glamorist, and I'm using the little smudge brush from Target. And I like this brush because it has a kind of small head, but it's still kind of a little bit fluffy. Now, I'm just going to start by the lash line and kind of pat it into the lash line there. And then go up and do the V area. And you can come up here and you can just go a little bit above the crease if you want, or you can just keep it in the V. Now also, depending on what your eyes look like, you can bring the color all the way in if you wanted, but I usually like to go about halfway, so into the crease. Okay, so I also want it to just be peeking up above the crease just a little bit, so I'm going to use the medium shadow brush here and kind of blend it just above the crease like that. Now I just sort of cleaned off the brush so there's no minerals on it at all. And I'm just going to blend the top of it to soften it. Going in circles sometimes will really help you blend as well, so if you're having trouble, I think that's a good technique. Now it's not blending exactly, the way that I want, so I'm going to take the tapered eyeshadow brush. This is the small tapered eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to go into the crease and do the circles again. And if it's looking a little bit too low, it's probably a good idea that you sort of start from the base over here and then kind of blend up rather than blending down, so you don't get too much down here. Just help you keep your eyes looking lifted. Okay. So there you go. It's a nice kind of diffused look out there, and a little bit of Glamorist in the V. Okay, so now I'm just going to add the liner, and I'm using Foliage, which is a kind of greenish brown liner, and it has just a little bit of like gold fleck in it. Okay, so I just did the liner, you know, to basically the end of my natural eye, but I never kind of go all the way down to follow my eye all the way down, because I always want my eye to look just a little bit kind of lifted up. So you don't necessarily want to just continue to follow your eye all the way down, so it's good sometimes just to lift it up just a little bit like that. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do is just show you how to maybe turn this into an evening look, if you wanted to spice it up just a little after work. Okay, so I just took pictures of it the way that it is right now. You'll have to imagine the mascara and everything like that. But now I'm just going to add a little bit of Firelight to it. Okay, let me just stop and show you the pictures. Okay, so I'm going to try this dry, and maybe this will be good enough with Firelight dry. So if you just want to add just a little sparkle, you can leave your eye just the way that it is, and then just on the inner corner add a little bit of Firelight. This is the color that I used as the highlight color. So it's a little bit sparkly, but it's a really soft yellow, so it'll look pretty over the gold leaf and just intensify the kind of golden tones. Okay, so it just makes it just a little bit brighter, but if you want to kind of go all the way here, what you want to do is just darken the Glamorista a little bit in the corner. So just want to make sure that that's nice and dark over there so that it looks smoky. And you can bring it in just a little bit further than the V, so okay, that's should do the other side. I'll pause and do that. So okay, so now what I'm going to do is add the Firelight over the gold leaf and the dry Firelight that I already have, and I'm going to foil it, so just to add that extra zing. And Firelight is a good color to pair with greens because I think it almost has a little green cast to it. It's in a kit with fire, or it was in a kit with Fire Opal, and that kind of has a green cast to it too. So that just adds a nice bright sparkle right in the inner part of the eye. And then Glamorista is so smoky, and that's one of the things I really like about it. So just add a little extra liner on the bottom, and you could just bring the Glamorista and the Firelight with you to work, and then just line the bottom with Glamorista. So I have a daytime meeting today, so I think I'm not going to line the bottom, but that's basically it. Okay. Thanks for watching.